Well, fears of all of us facing a very bleak and a very cold and dark winter season starting to get very real. Eskom ramping up power cuts to stage 6 indefinitely. The struggling power utility says Unit 2 has tripped at the Koeberg nuclear power station. It was the only functioning unit at the station after Unit 1, remember, was taken offline for repairs back in January of this year. The cause of the trip still under investigation as well. Eskom initially meant to reduce power cuts to stage 4 tomorrow, but that's not going to happen. The utility is saying it'll give an update if there are any changes. So currently stage 6 until further notice.
Help us understand the challenges as a result of stage 6.
Yeah, so with stage 6 and other higher stages of load shedding, we really are struggling as City Power to keep up with the demand, and by extension this actually affects our customers. You'll remember that with stage 6 it means that most of our customers are load shed sometimes 4 hours at a go, and often it's about 3 to 4 times a day, and that is really undesirable for us and for our customers, and that's why we often also have problems in terms of the infrastructure that is really buckling under pressure due to the on and offs. Remember, the electricity infrastructure on its own was never meant to be switched on and off at regular intervals, but we find ourselves basically having to do that. Over and above that is the toll that this has on our employees who are really struggling to keep up, because of most of the switching on and off is done manually, and it means that our teams have to move from substation to substation to basically switch on and off, and that's why often after load shedding you find that we are not basically, some areas are not back on, but our infrastructure is also basically blowing up during load shedding. Cables get stolen by thieves during load shedding because they basically also study the schedule, and they know which areas will be off at certain times. So we're losing about 3.6 million rands on a daily basis basically to keep up with this load shedding. We've had about 100 days of load shedding this year alone, and that's a lot for us, and the infrastructure that we are losing, the mini substations that we have lost. Last year alone we lost about 400 mini substations, either blowing up or some of them basically getting stolen, all costing about 200 million rands. This year it was a record one where we basically replaced about 27,000 joints. These are cable joints. This is what we used to do in 3 years, but we've already done it in just less than 6 months. So it shows you the kind of impact that this is actually having, that load shedding saving on our infrastructure, but also on human resources.
As we speak today, our country finds itself in a dark place. Load shedding has now become a permanent feature of life at the southern tip of Africa. We are currently in the grips of stage 6 load shedding, and we face the dire reality that electricity blackouts will escalate to stage 8 and beyond this winter. Our country also increasingly resembles a mafia state, where the people who are supposed to protect us cover up the escape of convicted rapists and murderers. Just last month, I visited the devastated family of young Langala Mviki, who died in a pit latrine at a school in the Eastern Cape because basic service delivery has collapsed in large parts of South Africa. This is the legacy that President Cyril Ramaphosa now leaves behind as he limps lamely towards the exit. We are a country betrayed by the weakest president South Africa has ever had.